Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Great Plains Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A buttons on your screen at any time to type questions to our presenters. Your camera and microphone are off, so our panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions, so please sign up for more. And this session will be recorded and will be available within about a week at strivescan.com/GPACAC. And with that, I'll turn it over to our first presenter, Washburn University.
Hi, everybody. Let's see. My name is Seth Cross, and I'm an admissions counselor at Washburn University. I also have one of my fellow admissions counselors that's heading up the chat. So by all means, if you have any questions, just make sure and ask. So the first question on your mind is, why Washburn? Well, if you're considering going to college, here are some really great facts about Washburn. First and foremost, we're a mid-range university. It's a little bit cliche to say, but we have the resources of a larger university. But as you can see with our smaller student to faculty ratio, 6,500 students, we have the feeling of a smaller campus. What that really means is you're going to get to know your professors on a first name basis, and they're going to get to know you on a first name basis. We have a 99% acceptance rate, and the vast majority of our faculty, 96%, have PhDs or are the highest in their discipline, meaning you're not being taught by fellow students, by graduate students. You're being taught by people at the top of their respective fields. We have 200 plus educational programs, $53 million worth of scholarships that we give away annually, and we're a Division II classified athletics program. So let's talk about what your life will actually look like as a student at Washburn. We have tons of different student organizations, over 130. And if there's not a student organization that floats your boat, you can absolutely feel free to create one. Tons of different ways to get involved on our campus. We also have Greek life opportunities and most major athletic programs as well. Like I say, we're Division II classified. We actually very recently built a brand new indoor practice facility that was phenomenal. We're very proud of. We're also very proud of our Student Recreation and Wellness Center, which was recently voted top 50 in the United States. As far as residential living, if you're interested in living on campus, we have 4 different styles of residence halls. So a little bit of something for everybody. One of those buildings that I'd actually like to highlight right now is Lincoln Hall. It was built in 2017, so it's still very new. It has tons of different floor plan options and a buffet style dining hall. So if you're looking to live on campus, Lincoln Hall is a terrific building to do so. So let's talk about the city of Topeka, which is where Washburn University is positioned. We like to call it the capital advantage. Pun intended. We're essentially located campus in terms of the city of Topeka with tons of shopping and restaurants very close to campus. We also need to understand that Topeka companies recognize the benefits of a Washburn degree and a Washburn alumni. Tons of opportunities in terms of internships and jobs soon after you're graduated. The industry in the Topeka surrounding area is really fantastic. As you can see in terms of business, we have a Frito-Lay plant, Advisors Excel, Hills, Blue Cross and Blue Shield, so many great businesses and so many great industries to enter into. Nursing, which is one of our biggest programs. There are 3 major local hospitals very close, tons of clinics, so you can get hands-on experience. If you're interested in political science or criminal justice, you can't go wrong with Topeka just because we're minutes away from the state capitol building, and we also have the Kansas Bureau of Investigation right on campus. So if you're interested in working in any of those fields, as well as education, arts and entertainment, there are tons of opportunities that sets us apart from other likewise colleges and universities just because we sat in the city of Topeka and we have that capital advantage. So let's talk about cost. What it'll actually bottom line cost you to attend Washburn University is $309 per credit hour. Now, many incoming freshmen hover around the 12 to 15 credit hours. 14 hours is the average at Washburn. And so you're going to look at an annual tuition of about $8,600, which you'll find is very competitive with similarly sized colleges and universities. You can also see the breakdown here of if you were living on campus to kind of reach that all-inclusive total for year to year, whether you are a Kansas resident or non-Kansas resident. Now, those are big numbers. Don't let the big numbers scare you, because of the freshman academic scholarship. We offer a renewable scholarship to incoming freshmen, as you can see here, based on your ACT or your GPA. If you have, for instance, you can get $500 all the way up to $5,000 scholarships that are renewable yearly. This is also on top of any financial aid that you might get, any departmental scholarships, anything of that nature. So although the big numbers of college are going to spook you, Washburn is going to be extremely competitive, and we also have very good scholarships for incoming freshmen. As you can see by this grid, it'll kind of show you where you'd land. So let's talk about, if you were interested in Washburn, how you could go about applying. Very simple. You can go to washburn.edu/apply. Easy enough, right? You're going to pay a $20 application fee, and you can do that online, by mail, or you can physically do it in the Office of Admissions. And what that's going to do is that's going to show you if you've been accepted or not. It'll also get you in touch with an admissions counselor like myself, and we'll be able to kind of walk you through that admissions process and make things make a lot more sense. You can also then kind of send us your ACT scores and see where you land on that scholarship grid, and to see how much money that Washburn University would like to offer to you to come. So why Washburn? Washburn is a phenomenal mid-sized college campus. It has about 6,500 students. We're very competitive in terms of cost, and being accepted once you apply is a very simple process, and it's very worth doing. We have the capital advantage by being in the city of Topeka, and that is just some of the many reasons why I would suggest attending Washburn University. We would love it if you had any questions at all, to make sure to reach out. Admissions@washburn.edu or 785-670-1030, or visit washburn.edu. You can absolutely get in touch with us day or night, and we'll help answer your questions about Washburn, college in general, or any of the process that we would love to be able to help you with at Washburn University. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Our next presenter is Northern Arizona University.
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us here today. My name is Becca Alvarado. I manage Native American and diversity recruitment with university admissions at Northern Arizona University. And not only have I been serving as a staff member for going towards 4 years, but I am also an alum of the university. And so I'm really excited to share a little bit about NAU with you here today. Now to start, NAU is located in Flagstaff, Arizona, which is about 2 hours north of Phoenix on the Colorado Plateau. We are at about 7,000 feet, and because we are on the Colorado Plateau, we have quite a bit of biodiversity in comparison to what I think Arizona is known for largely. To start, we have our 4 seasons. We have an average snow of about 100 inches of snow per year, but that is balanced out by 250 or more than 250 days of sunshine as well. And so you can rest assured that if it does snow, it's usually melting within 24 to 72 hours. Now, there are plenty of ways to get to Flagstaff. Some of the most popular ways is flying into Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport, or you can fly directly into our Flagstaff Airport, which services United as well as American Airlines. And our community is certainly known for being made up of hikers, bikers, and adventurers. We are an hour and a half away from the south rim of the Grand Canyon, as well as a 3-hour drive to 10 other national parks and monuments, and we are just a day's drive from Sedona, Las Vegas, Albuquerque, Durango, and of course Phoenix, as I mentioned. If you need to get to or from Flagstaff, as I mentioned, you can fly, and you can take our ground transportation in order to come from your terminal at Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport and be dropped off on Central Campus. Now, aside from our community within the Flagstaff area, we have a bustling community on campus as well. First thing to note is that you have the option to live on campus as a student, but it is certainly not required. About 90% or about 89% of our first year students do decide to live on campus though, and they join a community within their residential colleges, meaning that you get to live amongst folks who are studying the same thing as you. And so that really gives you an opportunity to start seeing some familiar faces, not only in your residence hall, but in your classes as well. Now, aside from living on campus, there are a ton of other ways for you to get involved. Some of my favorite options are within our student clubs and organizations. We have over 400 clubs and organizations for you to choose from, and those are based off of athletics, academics, faith-based organizations, as well as culture. And if you don't see the club on campus that you are looking for, you can certainly create your own. We also have 15 NCAA D1 programs. And you get into all the on-campus games at NAU at no additional charge with your NAU ID. Now, we are really proud of the diversity of our student body, and we strive for inclusivity as well as best we can. To start, we are a Hispanic serving institution. We also are ranked within the top 10 nationally for awarding bachelor's degrees to Indigenous or Native American students. And about 46%, so nearly half of our undergraduate population, are first generation. So they are the trailblazers of their family going out and getting a four-year degree. We offer mentoring services and communities based off of where you're from and how you identify in order to make sure that you are able to create that community on campus. Now, switching gears a little bit to our academics, you can see some of the stats that we are most proud of on the screen, including our 21,000 total undergraduate students that we have here at the Flagstaff campus. That makes us the smallest undergraduate population of the 3 in-state public universities in Arizona. And you can certainly see that with our student to faculty ratio and our average class size, you can certainly feel like an individual on our campus. We also have nearly 100 different majors for you to choose from. And some of the most popular ones are programs like biomedical sciences, mechanical engineering, elementary education, business, and criminology and criminal justice. I also like to highlight that you can get involved in research as early as your second semester on campus. And so we are very, our students are really proud of them for getting involved in research in their undergraduate careers. And now, in order to be admitted to the university, we look at the 16 core classes. Within the 16 core classes, we calculate our own GPA for you based off of just the classes that are shown on the screen. And so the GPA that we make for you looks a little bit different than the GPA that's on your transcripts. Now, we call that GPA an Unweighted Core Gpa. And if you have a 3.0 Unweighted Core GPA, you are automatically admitted to the university with no missing classes. But if you have a 2.5 and up to 2 missing classes, we will still consider you for admissions. One thing to note is that you cannot have those 2 missing classes in the same subject area, nor can you have them overlapping in math and lab science subject areas. Now, we know that you are making an investment in your future when you are attending a college or a university. And so that's why tuition transparency is so important to us. You can see our tuition that is listed on the screen for non-residents, and our additional costs are listed below. These do not change based off of residency. And so no matter what, across the board, you are getting treated like any other student coming in as a non-resident. You can see our fees that are listed, our housing and our meal plans, and then our books and supplies are just estimates. Now, when you apply online, we automatically consider you for the merit scholarships that are listed on the screen. So not only are you being considered for admission, but we're also considering you for additional tuition merit-based scholarships based off of that unweighted core GPA. And we are a test score optional institution. And so while you can send in your ACT or SAT, it is certainly not required for you to be admitted or considered for those merit scholarships. Now, I hope that makes you want to learn a little bit more about NAU. You can visit nau.edu/virtual if you would like to sign up for a virtual guided tour or for a more detailed presentation of campus. And again, my contact information is on the screen for you as well. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Our next presenter is St. Louis University.
Hello, everyone. Oh, that pulled over there to the wrong place. My name is Jennifer Tanner. I am a regional admission counselor for St. Louis University. So I am based in the Kansas City area. So if you live in the state of Kansas, I work with you. And if you live in Nebraska or in Oklahoma, you would work with one of my other colleagues. St. Louis University is a medium-sized Catholic Jesuit institution with over 8,000 undergraduate students. We are ranked as a top 50 Catholic school. We have 2 campuses, one in St. Louis and one in Madrid, Spain. And we are the second oldest Jesuit university, founded in 1818. So we're over 200 years old. And we are the first university west of the Mississippi. While we are classified as an urban campus, we do have a traditional campus feel. So what does it mean to be a Jesuit institution? If you've not heard of the Jesuits, that is okay. The Jesuits are one of the largest orders of Catholic priests. Oh, excuse me. And what it means to be a Jesuit institution has to do with our philosophy on education. So we believe in educating the whole person, academically, socially, physically, spiritually. We believe in academic excellence, social justice, and this idea of being a person for others. And one of the ways that we live out this Jesuit mission is by being men and women with and for others is through service. So you can see here that our faculty, staff, and students recently contributed over 1.98 million hours of community service because they do want to make a difference. And while we are a Catholic university, we are absolutely a home to all faiths. We are only about 50% Catholic. We do offer nearly 90 undergraduate majors for you to study. All of our majors are direct entry. So that means you apply to start in your very first semester freshman year. Some popular majors in no particular order are direct entry physical therapy program, that's a 6-year doctorate in PT, our direct entry nursing program, accounting, aerospace engineering, communication, nursing, I already mentioned that, flight science, and psychology. As I alluded to, nursing, physical therapy, and our 5-year master's in occupational therapy, all of those programs are direct entry only, and you do have to apply by December 1st of your senior year. Most of our majors have hands-on learning experiences like internships, clinicals, research. For instance, students in our aerospace engineering program utilize a wind tunnel during their senior year design project. Our School of Business students intern all around the city of St. Louis. There are 9 Fortune 500 companies in the city, and we've been ranked as one of the best startup cities in the nation. So they intern at Emerson, US Bank, Boeing, Monsanto, Edward Jones, just to name a few. Students in our School of Nursing spend over 300 hours in clinicals starting during their sophomore year. And generally speaking, we are a top research university. So you can start research as early as freshman year. In fact, we are only one of 9 Catholic universities to receive the Carnegie classification of highest research activity. And while hands-on experiences have definitely been more challenging this year, we have still been able to provide an in-person experience for our students, both this past fall and this spring semester. And we are also offering an option for our students to complete courses online and in a hybrid fashion. So what is there to do on campus? We have 18 D1 sports. We're part of the Atlantic 10 Conference, and we have 30 club sports and 50 intramural programs. So there are a lot of ways to be involved with athletics, and our basketball stadium, Chaffetz Arena, is located right on campus. If you are not into athletics, that's okay. We have about 150 student organizations. They range from culture, government, sports, media, service, Greek life, and more. We're about 20% Greek with 7 sororities, 7 fraternities, and 10 multicultural fraternities. So about 20% of our student population is Greek, but we do not have any official Greek housing on campus. We also have a campus in Madrid, Spain. So we are a very study abroad friendly campus. You can choose to study abroad on our campus in Spain or at our 45 other locations all around the world. So how do you become a Billiken? It is free to apply. You can apply using the common application or on our website. We do require your application, an essay, and your official high school transcript. We are currently in the first year of a 3-year test optional pilot, so you do not need to submit test scores, and you will not be disadvantaged in any way in the admission or scholarship process if you choose to remove your test scores from your application. And we do also accept self-reported test scores. While not required, we do recommend letters of recommendation, a resume, and an optional admission interview. We are rolling admission, and we will start releasing admission decisions in early November. And we encourage you to apply by December 1st, as this is our priority deadline for several of our competitive majors and our competitive scholars programs. Our merit scholarships range from $8,000 to $25,000 a year. And we also have a few competitive scholarships that you can apply for, a full tuition presidential scholarship and our Dr. King scholarship for students who really have a commitment to being agents of change in the community. If you would like to visit SLU, you can check out our virtual or in-person options at slu.edu/visit. You're also welcome to contact me at jennifer.tanner@slu.edu. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I hope you have a great evening.
Thank you so much. Our next presenter is Pittsburgh Institute of Aeronautics.
Hello all, my name is Brandon Weiss with PIA, the Pittsburgh Institute of Aeronautics. Simply stated, what we do is we provide the education and training necessary to prepare and propel our graduates into careers in aviation, aerospace, and beyond technologies. As much as I'm going to paint pictures with words today the best I can, I would love to share my screen to not only tell you, but show you all that PIA has to offer. So right off the bat, PIA has been in existence for over 90 years. We were actually founded out of the Glenn Curtiss and Orville Wright Flying Center. That's the same Orville Wright that was the first in flight in 1903. PIA began training and educating students in 1929. PIA graduates have gone on to work for NASA, SpaceX, Aerojet Rocketdyne, just to name some of the leading technology aerospace companies, Lockheed Martin, Pratt & Whitney, literally working with beyond cutting edge level technology, as some of the projects, for instance, at Lockheed Martin they take on won't even be made available or aware to the public for years to come, as well as commercial airlines, Boeing, American, Piedmont, Delta, you name it. Our students have an opportunity to work on it if it moves mechanically. Disney will actually hire our grads to work on roller coasters, as well as NASCAR, entertainment aspects of aviation, such as skydiving and Hollywood consulting, even farming, so many different aspects under the umbrella of aeronautics. We are ranked Forbes #1 two-year trade school, making PIA an elite and unique educational opportunity. What makes us so unique is our students are actually given an opportunity to live out the lessons they learned by working on actual aircraft in our on-campus hangar. More on that to come in a moment. But going into our Forbes ranking, which is not only for aviation and aerospace, for all trade schools across the world, based on our students' graduate, postgraduate success, the affordability of our programs, the overall experience that our students have educationally that they take into their career. So we are the Pittsburgh Institute of Aeronautics, but we also have branch campuses in Youngstown, Ohio, Hagerstown, Maryland, and right off the beach in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The question I always get right off the bat is, what does it look like to be a student at PIA, which I would love to not only tell you, but show you. PIA is all about passionate people meeting technology. As you saw there, roughly 60, if not more % of the time that a student is in one of our programs, they are in our hangar working on actual aircraft, planes, helicopters, jets, engines, avionics equipment, really getting to experience the lesson, which we find not only properly prepares them for the industry, but also has our students very much enjoy their educational process as they've identified themselves as hands-on learners. A little bit of a deeper dive into some of our aircraft that our students get a chance to work on. Pride, purpose, and prestige is exactly what we strive for our students to have in their education and ultimate career. At PIA, we are extremely specialized, so we offer 2 programs: aviation maintenance technology, working on the brawn of the aircraft, and aviation electronics technology, more commonly referred to as avionics, working on everything that deals with the flight deck, the communication, the radar, the navigation, all the aspects that really allow the aircraft and pilot to communicate and operate optimally. So our aviation maintenance technology program culminates in students having a chance to test for and obtain not only their degree or certification, depending on their program, but also their FAA, Federal Aviation Administration airframe and power plan. And our avionics program culminates in students not only getting their associate in specialized technology degree, but being able to test for and obtain their Federal Communication Commission General Radio Telephone Operator's License. Further specializing their skills and setting them apart in the industry, we do have an option for students to do both programs if that is attractive to them as well. What I would love to do now is encourage you, if you want to gain more information, go to pia.edu/learn more, or you can go on our website, pia.edu, to request more information. I would love to have you guys down for a tour. Anything I showed you today pales in comparison to actually walking in our hangars, seeing the aircraft. And that's when I see a student, potential student, light up and really know that this is the right educational and career path for me. So whatever educational and career path you choose to walk down, I wish you all the best and brightest future in whatever it is you decide to do. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our next presenter is Seton Hall University.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. My name is Morgan Smith. I'm one of the assistant directors in the Office of Admission, and I also work with students and families from Nebraska. So if you're from Nebraska, I will be your admissions counselor. If you're from Kansas or Oklahoma, you'll be working with one of my other colleagues, and I'm happy to share their information if you'd like. Just jumping right into things. There we go. Seton Hall was founded in 1856 by the Reverend James Roosevelt Bailey, who is the first Bishop of Newark, and we actually are the oldest diocesan universities in the country. We're home for the mind, heart, and spirit, and we're very welcoming and diverse. We're mid-sized, so about 6,200 undergraduate students and about 4,000 graduate students. We do have 3 campuses, all located within northern New Jersey. Our main campus, where most of our students are going to be located, is in South Orange, New Jersey. We also have the Interprofessional Health Sciences campus, or the medical campus, that is located in Nutley, New Jersey. That's where the latter half of the nursing program will be located, as well as graduate students within physician's assistant, occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech language pathology, and athletic training will be found. Also, our School of Medicine is found here. And finally, we have the law school. That's where all the law students are found. That's be located in Newark, New Jersey. We're mid-sized, but we still like to keep class sizes fairly small. Average class size is just 21 students, and student to faculty ratio is 14:1. So you're gonna have that close-knit community type feel on campus, but at the same time, you're gonna have all the same advantages of a larger research institution. Students will start researching as early as their freshman year, and we're actually ranked number 4 in the nation for internship opportunities. Because we're so close to New York City, about a 14-mile drive or about a half-hour train ride, that opens up a world of doors for our students interning, and just some of the really big names that students have interned within the past year or two have been the NBA, The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, ESPN, Prudential, Johnson & Johnson, PwC, and the list just goes on and on. Here's a list of our majors and programs, just to name some of the more popular ones. Accounting, both the 4-year and the 5-year dual degree program. Athletic training is also fairly popular within our students. Physician's assistant, physical therapy, occupational therapy, athletic training, all of those, health and medical sciences programs are really booming within the past year or two. Nursing as well. We're a large business school, so accounting, as I mentioned earlier, finance, sports management, regular management, just to name a few within that specific school. And of course, liberal arts, psychology, criminal justice, sociology. Those are some of the larger programs within School of Arts and Sciences as well. Just moving along to our campus life, we're a very bustling campus, over 150 clubs and organizations. And we do have Greek life on campus, 26 Greek organizations, ranging from the traditional sororities and fraternities to multicultural organizations, all of that jazz. We have almost a dozen lead student theater performances every single year on campus. And of course, due to COVID, everything has changed just a little bit, but we have dancers, comedians, guest speakers, and musicians almost weekly that come and participate and give shows to our students. And again, don't forget how close to New York City we are. It's just a train ride away. In terms of Pirate Pride, we are full of it. We're a Division I athletic school with 14 D1 teams, and we're part of the Big East Conference. Our Big East friend Uconn is here tonight. I always love seeing a Big East school in these types of events. If you're not a D1 athlete, we do have 25 intramural clubs and intramural and club sports. Club sports are pay to play, kind of like AAU, and intramural sports are just for fun with your friends. And again, we're a very active campus. About half of our students will participate in some type of sport. In terms of residence life, not to go too much into it, but we are a very residential area. So a lot of upperclassmen actually choose to live off campus in their junior and senior years, and we recommend it. We want students to learn to be independent and live on their own, but about 80% of freshmen will live on campus, and then it drops down to about 50% of our total undergraduate population. And then to the fun stuff, so when to apply, what to submit, and what we're looking for. Of course, we're early action. That's the non-binding agreement at Seton Hall, so you don't need to rescind your applications from any schools if you were to be admitted early. That's just an earlier decision for you. We are a Common App school, so you can submit the Common App or the Seton Hall application. There's a $55 application fee, but I'll throw a fee waiver code for you guys in the chat. Of course, we need all the normal documents with the exception of test scores. We were test optional this year, of course, due to COVID, and we did receive notification that we will be test optional through fall 2026. So because of that, we do take a holistic review of the applicant. So I look at essays, I look at recommendations, I look at counselor reports, I look at everything you guys send in to make a best decision for you. With that being said, if you would like an interview or you'd like to speak to me about your application, I'm more than happy to meet with you. I'll throw my email once again in the chat along with the fee waiver code and the link to do a virtual tour if you guys would like. Thank you so much once again for joining in tonight, and go Pirates.
Thank you so much. Our next presenter is University of Connecticut.
Awesome, thanks. So let me just share my screen. Cool, so welcome to Uconn's presentation. My name is Sia Sadani, and I'm an admissions representative with Uconn as well as Uconn alum. I graduated in May 2019 with a finance major and analytics minor. So if you have any questions about my experience with Uconn, definitely feel free to ask after the presentation. So Uconn was founded in 1881 initially as an agricultural school. Our main purpose was to teach students the practical and real world skills of farming. If you go to our main campus at Storrs, you will 100% see our agricultural roots on campus. We have acres and acres of land. We have our own barns. We have barn animals. We have cows on campus. We make our own ice cream. We have cool hiking trails. It's a very beautiful campus. But I will say that now, more than 130 years later, we are a four-year public Tier 1 research university and are one of the top 25 public universities in the nation. As I mentioned, our main campus is in Storrs. That's where a majority of students end up applying to, and that's where a majority of students live. I will say that just at our Storrs campus, we have over 19,000 undergraduate students. We also offer 4 regional campuses that complement our larger campus at Storrs. So we have a location in Avery Point, which is right along the Long Island Sound. We have a location in Hartford, Waterbury, and Stamford. I will say that one thing about Uconn Stamford, it's the only other campus other than Storrs that offers on-campus housing. So with all 5 campuses combined, we have over 24,000 undergraduate students. In terms of academics, we have 10 different schools and colleges at Uconn. So those vary from the School of Fine Arts to our School of Business or School of Engineering, our College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, and much more. Most popular majors are bio, psych, economics, political science, anything within business and engineering. But we also have super niche majors like puppetry. We're one of the top schools in the nation for puppetry. We just announced we're offering a minor in puppetry. If you're interested in pairing your major with a minor in that, it is totally doable. So there are a lot of options. We do offer double majors as well as dual degrees, and also an individualized major program, which is basically you make your own major, you decide what classes you want to take, the focus of the major, it is totally up to you. In terms of class size, average class size is between 20 to 32 students. Most class sizes are under 50 students. In terms of student life on campus, we are a D1 school, most famous for men's and women's basketball team. Men's team did not do so well in the championship, but our women's team made it to the Final Four, so we still love them both. But beyond our basketball teams, we do have 24 D1 teams in all. If you played a sport in high school and you're like, don't really want to go D1, we do offer club sports as well as intramural sports. If you're looking to just avoid the freshman 15, we have a brand new rec center built right on the center of campus, super accessible to students, and is super, super nice. But beyond athletics, we also offer 700 plus student organizations that are founded and led by students. So some of the more typical organizations you might have seen in your own high school are like student government, mock trial, model UN, robotics. We also have really unique clubs like the cannoli club, where students literally come together every single week to talk about their love for cannolis, eat cannolis, like whatever you think of, we have. And if we don't have it, you are more than welcome to start your own organization at Uconn. We also have 6 cultural centers that house their own organizations as well. Just to switch gears a little bit and talk about admissions at Uconn, few deadlines to be aware of. January 15th is that most important deadline. That is our Storrs first year application deadline. That is when a majority of students will be applying to Uconn. We do offer a December 1st priority deadline for merit scholarship and honors consideration. So all students are automatically considered for both scholarship and honors when applying to Uconn. No separate application, no minimum requirement. As soon as you apply, you will be considered. And just to mention about that, priority deadline is not early action or early decision. We don't offer that at Uconn. Priority deadline is if you feel like you're on the border of maybe receiving a scholarship or getting into honors, then a lot of students will end up applying earlier just so that the application can be reviewed earlier. But that, even if you apply by like December 1st, you will still receive your decision with the regular decision pool as well. Say you miss December 1st deadline, as long as you apply by January 15th, you'll still be considered. March 1st is when we start to release admission decisions as well as financial aid packages. And then finally, once you are ready to apply, you can apply online using either the Common App or the Coalition application. I know most students are familiar with the Common App, but either works for us. We do require official transcripts, personal essay, 2 letters of recommendation, optional, but I highly, highly recommend them, especially because we are piloting a test optional option for the next 2 admission cycles. So if you want to submit your scores, you can. If you don't want to, you're not at a disadvantage. Finally, $80 application fee. In terms of connecting with Uconn, I know a lot of students are like, how can I see Uconn, especially during the pandemic? We are only offering limited campus tours for admitted students. Just for the spring, we're hoping to open it back up to prospective students by the summer. But in the meantime, you're more than welcome to email me with any questions. You can attend virtual campus tours, information sessions, chat with current students, and things like that. But thank you for your time. Feel free to email me, and I will throw my contact information in the chat.
Thank you so much. If all of our presenters wouldn't mind turning on their cameras, we're just going to do a little round robin here. I've got some questions for you all. The first being, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? If you'd all be willing to share your thoughts on that.
Yeah,
we'll go in the same presenting order.
Yes, ma'am. So absolutely. So the best piece of advice that I could give you is to prioritize. Prioritize what you're looking for in a college or university and don't negotiate on it. If you want to make sure that you have, your specific program, if you're interested in Greek life, don't make the college change to fit you. Go and find the college that is right for you and fits you. Absolutely go on campus visits. Absolutely go try to make sure that college or university fits what you're looking for. That's the way that you're going to have the most beneficial and the most enjoyable collegiate experience. And the way that you're going to find that out is by touring and by reaching out. That's going to give you the best fit and the best college experience.
Does Arizona want to go next?
I apologize. My internet is being a little off, so you may not be able to hear me very well. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you, but your camera is glitching a little bit. You can turn your camera off if you want. Oh, did we lose her? Well, if someone else can go.
I'm going to do that. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem.
The question, I'm sorry, I couldn't see it.
Oh yes, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? Okay.
So you may be able to hear me. Again, I apologize. It's still cutting in and out a little bit. But in terms of advice, starting the college search process, I would certainly advise to start sooner rather than later. Your 4 years of high school are going to fly by more quickly than you think. And I would always encourage to take virtual college tours, start your college list early, and certainly start kind of leading through the universities that you're interested in sooner. That way you can start to either add some new ones on as you're going through your freshman, sophomore, and junior years, or and then of course to visit in person if you can, but certainly take advantage of all the awesome virtual options that are happening right now.
I think you're done, Becca, so I'm going to go ahead and pop in. I would say my biggest advice is to utilize your resources. We are all here to be an advocate for the students that we work with. So, I always encourage students to go to the website. You have no idea how much information colleges put on their website, so spend a little bit of time doing research. But if you don't understand something, or if you are wanting additional information, if you need someone to really walk you through and explain everything, that is what your admission counselor is for, is to be that advocate for you. So please make sure to utilize us. This is what the university pays us to do, is be a resource for students.
I love what Seth, Becca, and Jennifer had to share with that. My advice would be empower yourself through educational exploration. And what I mean by that is look into a community college, a trade school, a four-year school, if not multiple. How could you truly know the right path for you unless you know what options are available to you? Like Jennifer said, most have great staffs that are willing to answer your questions. And if it sparks an interest in you, I always encourage students in my piece of advice to at least tour 3 educational institutions to really find the one that speaks to you, your personality, your passion, that you feel comfortable and excited about the future. That's the biggest goal of the college exploration aspect, to have you not fearful for the future, but excited for that next step. And I think that only comes through exploring our options and finding the path that is perfect for each one of us.
I have to agree with all of my colleagues. Also, I always like to put in my own little piece of advice that I personally felt when going through the process. Make sure you feel like you're at home. This is a place you're going to spend multiples 4, 5, 6 years at. Make sure you feel comfortable here. Do the backpack test. Can you see yourself walking around campus with a backpack on? Seton Hall was my home. I went to Seton Hall, graduated in 2018. Now I work here. I haven't really ever left. So it's been a home that I could see myself at for a very long time. So feel comfortable and confident in your decisions, and ultimately make sure it's the one that you want. I have a lot of parents and families that reach out and say, well, I want this for my child. It's your education. It's your future. Make sure you advocate for yourself. And ultimately, it's up to you. So if you have questions, all of my colleagues here, I'm sure, are happy to help. So reach out, ask questions. That's what we're here for.
I think my best advice would be, well, I feel like listening to all of my colleagues give advice. I wish I had taken this advice when I was going through the college search process, because I was that student who waited until the last minute, like 11:59 p.m. to submit my Common App. So I think the biggest thing is get organized. I think just having knowing, just having everything visually, okay, I know these are the colleges I'm interested in. These are kind of some information, even writing notes after this session. And also I think just doing what you're doing now, and just showing up to fairs, showing up to especially high school visits. I feel like now with everything being virtual right now, it's just a lot more accessible to speak to colleges and college reps. So I think just showing up, no pressure to ask questions, but that gives you a chance to just kind of also get a feel of what universities have to offer.
Well, thank you everyone for that invaluable advice. Thanks for joining us, everyone. When this window closes, there will be a link to a quick 4-question survey. We appreciate any feedback that you can share. There are additional sessions being hosted, so please sign up for more. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session and other recordings at the same place where you signed up for this session. Thank you again to our presenters, and thank you so much, everyone, for being here with us. Have a great night.